My screen is visible, right? All of you.
Not yet. Now it's visible.
You can see now.
So today we can go starting the networking part, right? That we discussed on previous class.
Yes.
Okay, coming to networks. For the new joiners, you are familiar with the networks or new to the networks. May I know your knowledge on network parts like virtual network or physical networks. Any idea? Okay. So coming to networks, okay. As a cloud engineer, we need to know how these networks are uh, working behind the machines, okay, the machines or the servers or another IT peripherals. So, for example, we have a laptop or a personal machine, okay, this is a PC1, and we have another PC here, PC2. Both machines, both machines are in same room, okay. So, how these the requirement is we need to send one file from PC1 to PC2. So, how we will fulfill the scenario? Anyone?
Toffee, I think we covered this one, right?
We covered, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay, okay.
But I think he's giving like more detail with IP addresses or for the lab, I think.
I thought
Is
I
it?
didn't touch this part actually. Yeah, sorry.
No. Are you going to give the lab on this one?
Yeah, yep, yep.
Yeah, lab it is covered actually. You can go ahead.
We plan to start the lab today, right?
Yes.
Okay, right, right. Okay, then, did we discuss the VPC coming to cloud? Okay, we need to create networking and creating subnet and a lot of stuff. So coming to AWS, the networking name is VPC, Virtual Private Cloud. And whenever we creating virtual private cloud, that means VPC, we need to configure the some other components too under the VPC. So we will get a fully functional VPC. Okay. So for that, we need to configure internet gateway, subnets, routing table or route table association. Okay. These are the things that we need to configure uh, to create a fully functional VPC. Then we can deploy our resources to this network. So this will be a network actually for everybody. When we create a VPC, we need to provide the name and IP. So when creating internet gateway, we need to create the internet gateway and attach to the above VPC. The second, my pen has some issues. Okay. So after we configuring internet gateway, then we will attach that internet gateway to the VPC. Then subnet, we need to define the VPC whenever we is creating subnet. And coming to route table also, we need to define the VPC subnet, all things. Also associate with the route table, okay, using route table association. So we can create a VPC from scratch, okay. And our requirement is um, create a VPC from scratch and launch a EC2 mission.
What is the last item underneath root table? It says root table A something
Association.
association.
Can we have a brief idea of what is a VPC, why it is used? And
We didn't
I know
cover
you're
that,
gonna.
right?
No, we didn't.
Okay. So what is VPC? VPC is a private isolated environment, okay, where we are going to deploy our resources in cloud. In cloud means in AWS actually, okay. For AWS, the networking name is VPC. If we using Azure, the name is VNet. Similar thing, but different name and different way of configuration. That's all. So the requirement is okay. For example, before cloud and VPC, how we will deploy our application or how we will setting our infrastructure. For example, coming to a office, okay, we have a office. So ABC, the name of the company or office. And here we can see a lot of employees are there in different area. Okay, for example, employee one, and this is the employees machines. Okay, so three employees are in this row. Okay, some other offices in the same building, and there we can see a lot of machines. So their employees are also there, and here we can see the server room. Okay, and in this case, we didn't just place this computer here. Okay, before that we need to create a LAN there, a local area network, a LAN, and these all the machines are connected to a switch for interconnection. Okay, that means these all the machines can talk each others. Okay, so all these machines are in a network. Got it. Also, these machines are connected to the
One
servers.
question. One
Yes.
question. In the square you've drawn, the top right corner, there is three machines.
Machines.
Are they like different rooms of the building, like you
Yep,
showed?
yep, yep, yes. If you
Okay. So
coming to
one
a
is the
hospital,
server.
okay, just a case, just take example hospital.
Okay.
Hospital. You can see some machines and some people's in the help desk or reception, okay, where we are taking the appointments. So they will type your name into their laptop, their PC, and checking which doctor you need. So they will assign everything inside their machine, right? So these are different doctors who consider. These are doctor one, doctor two, doctor three. They are using their own their own machines. And here we can see a pharma. Okay. So here we can see that pharmacy. Okay, where we are buying the medicines. So the requirement. Okay, for example, just you just first came here and take a bill. Sorry, take the token and go to the. They will take a token to you. Okay, for the same one topic for you as per the requirement. Then you go to the third doctor. Okay, so the doctor checking your and diagnose. After that, he will provide some medicine, right? So he type in their machine actually. You got it. And at the same time, that data comes to the pharmacy PC. That's why, because all the machines are connected, right? So whenever you came to the pharmacy and you explain the name of or your ID, anything, then that pharmacy persons know which medicine the doctor prescribed. So they will give the medicine. So this is a simple scenario. For doing these all the setups, we need to create a LAN app first and connected all the machines to the servers and write things. Similar way, we need to set up the same LAN connection in corporate office, hospitals, schools, college. Got it. Government office. So we need to set up first a LAN, okay, and connected all the machines with the corresponding servers or switches. Got it. Why we creating LAN? First, we can all the machines are connected. Okay. Then from the server manager can restrict these machines. Okay. What are the machines? We can call as these machines are client machines. Client one, client two, client three. And these for this client, there is a server as well in the server. Server admin or the IT administrator will managing these all the machines via server. For example, we need to push some software to the old like doctors. So from the server, we can do this things. Actually, we didn't go to each missions. And for example, if we have 100 doctors, 100 pieces are there, okay, in that hospital. So manual process, we need to go to the each missions and do the process. So that's a time-taking process and tedious task. So if we connect all the missions to the server, we can directly do the same things from the server. We didn't go to any of the missions. Got it. So there is a lot of use case if we connected our machines to a LAN. For example, um, we need to provide internet connections to the doctor's computers. Okay. So from the server, we can define that things, or we need to deny that internet connection. We need to deny that USB connection from all these machines, doctor's machines. So all these things we can restrict, okay, from the server. So we need to connect these all the machines to a switch. Switch is a device actually to communicate machines. Okay, and we need to take a connection from the switch to the server. So the server and this PCs are connected with the switch actually. This is actually like on-premise setup. Okay, on-premise setup to create LAN. So coming to cloud. Okay, coming to cloud, we need to do the similar things in cloud environment because here you can see there is a LAN connection here, right? LAN means in the office we created a LAN between all the machines. There's a local area connection here. For example, this machine can talk with this machine. This machine can talk with the another machines like that. That means there is a LAN connection established. So similar things we need to do in our cloud environment as well. That's there actually the VPC is taking the role. So Coming to cloud, we need to deploy three missions similar way. Okay, we need to deploy three missions to Docker. So that's the scenario using cloud. So first we need to log into the AWS account and we need to create our network first. That is VPC. For a fully functional VPC, we need to configure other things like subnet, routable like that. After that, we will deploy the machines. Doctor 1, Doctor 2, Doctor 3, three machine we need to deploy inside a subnet. For example, we have two subnet. Okay. So inside the subnet, we will deploy the machine, EC2 machine. 1, 2, and 3. Or else we can deploy another subnet as well as per the requirement. So we need to know what is VPC, what is subnet, and how we set up a fully functional VPC, lot of things. Got it.
Yes.
Okay. So coming to VPC, okay. So the requirement is we need to set up some machines, okay, machine resources, and we need to launch that machines within our network, okay. So within our network means first we need to create our network, right? So that is we need to start with the VPC. VPC. VPC is nothing. It's a private environment. Okay, a cloud virtual network. We call it as a VPC as a virtual private cloud. By default, it's a isolated private cloud. Okay, so we created a VPC, and we need to give some name and a IP for the machine. Sorry, IP for the network actually. Got it. Consider like that. We are going to build a home. Okay, build a home and assign a address for the home. So anyone can send a mail to this address that will receive here. Similar way, we creating a VPC. The IP for sending and receiving data. So first we can create the VPC. Okay. For that we need to log into AWS account and go to the service. The service name is VPC. So here we can see under search bar we can type VPC. This is a VPC dashboard. Okay. Here we can see the existing VPC, existing subnets, and a lot of stuff we can see here. Also, we can see the VPC peering stopping. Okay. So go to the VPC to create a VPC. So here we can see some VPCs are here. Okay, listed. Three VPCs are currently running or available in my AWS account. And we need to, we have created around five VPC within the account. Okay, that's the maximum. If we need more, then we need to take a support from AWS. And by default, five. So also, whenever we creating a AWS account, we can see a default VPC there. So this is a default VPC, a default VPC. Okay, that is a fully functional VPC. We can leverage that VPC, or else best practice is we need to create our own VPC. Okay, so go to create a VPC, click that VPC only. Okay, then we need to provide the name. Okay, I provide the name, Guruschools. Then here we can see IPv4 CADR block or IPAM allocated IP CADR block. By default, we go with the IPv4 CADR manually input because here we are going to manually typing our IP address for this VPC. So next thing is we need to provide the IP. So different types of IP classes are there, A, B, C, D, okay, and E. So we are using 10 dot series. That means A class IPs, okay. So here we can type 10 dot series IP, 10.0.0.0. This is a private IP for our VPC. And whenever we typing the VPC IP address, we need to define the net mask as well. So providing net mask slash 16. So why we providing the net mask? That is, here we are creating the VPC, okay. The name we provided to the school and the IP we already provided 10.0.0.0. Okay. And also I provided the net mark 60. So this is IP I choose with the net mask 60. So here the main thing is we created a VPC with the IP address this one. So this IP address with the net mask gives us 65,536 IP address for this VPC. That means we got this much IP address. So we can divide to our other components. The next main component is coming to VPC is subnet. Subnet is nothing actually, it's a ranges of IP. We call it as a ranges of IP. Ranges of IP. So here we have one more subnet, okay? Or three subnet consider like that. As per the requirement, actually, we are creating different subnet, okay? So here, coming to VPC, we have this much IP, 65,536. So whenever we creating a subnet, we need to define the IP and name for the subnet as well. And that IP address taking from the VPC that we can define which IP address or how much IP address that we need to allocate for a subnet from the VPC IP address. So VPC have this much IP address. So we can send all the IP to the single subnet. That's no problem. We can define 65,560 IP to the single subnet. But the problem is we can't allocate any IP to the second subnet or third subnet. So we need to define as per the requirement. Normally we define 256 something IP. So we can, I mean, it will taking from the VPC and IPs and allocate for this machine. That means with a single subnet, that subnet has 256 IP address. That means inside the subnet, we can deploy 250 something machines. So all the machines got public IP, sorry, private IP. Got it. So this is the IP address for the single subnet. And we can define, as per the requirement, we can define another IPs for the second subnet, similar way. Now I will explain the net mask, okay. 10 dot, this is IP address 10.0.0.0. And this is the subnet, sorry, net mask. 16 is the net mask here, okay. The net mask actually gives the IP addresses. I mean, this is 65,000 IP addresses, okay. There is a calculation between this is IP address IPv4, okay, version 4, that the first IP version. Now we have IPv6 also, okay. Two IP versions are available. One is IPv4 version 4 and version 6. IPv4 and IPv6. For creating local area network, we using IPv4 mostly. No need, no go to the V6, it's a complex IP. And coming to here, this is IPv4, okay, private IP. We only using private IP, we can't use public IP, okay. And this is binary actually. The bit is 8 for the first octet. We call it as octet, okay, in between the dot. Second one is another 8 and 8 and 8. Total size is 32 bit for the IPv4. For IPv6 is around 128 bit actually. So it's a huge, IPv6 is huge and lot of IP addresses are there. Yeah. So the total is 32. 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, 32. Okay. So that's the total size of this IP, 32 bit. And using the netmask 16, how this working? 16. That means 8 plus 8 is 16, right? So actually, we take a barrier like this if we provide 16. That means this part is now called host, sorry, network. And this part is host. Okay. The network part won't change actually. This is not change. Host part will change. That means, okay, for example, we provide this IP, okay. So we deploy one EC2 machine here. So first mission IP manually assign, automatically assign from the subnet actually, okay. 0 dot. This is not changing in the first 32, sorry, 8 bit, 16 bit. And the rest of thing will change, okay. So 0 dot to 1. That one 0.1 IP go to the first mission like 10.0.0.1. So second mission dot to 2. The last digit is 255. That's a last IP's last digit is 255, 255, 255, 255. That's a last digit. Okay. Here you can see this trend, but coming to the last one is 255 actually. The rotation like this, okay, like for example, if you're starting with a 10, 10 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0, no subnet defined, okay. So next one is 10 dot 0 dot 0 dot 1. So whenever it's 10 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 255, then the next one is 10 dot 0 dot 1 dot 0. Got it. So the last one is 1 dot 255. Then the one changed to 2, 10 dot 0 dot 2 dot 255. So whenever the counts comes to like 255, 255, 255, that's the length. So in between we got a lot of IPs, like millions of IPs, I think, when rotating from starting with the 10 and ending with 255. Okay, leave it. This is just a calculation. And coming to here, when we using the netmask, only this part not change. Okay, that means the last IP for this IP, the above IP is 10 dot 0 dot 55 dot 255. That's the last IP. So the last IP means from the 0 dot 1 to 255, 250, we got 65,586 IP. That's the IP. This is IP. And if you have confused regarding the netmask, we can use online calculator for subnet calculator and go to the subnet calculator. Here we can type the IP that we are going to provide 10.0.0.0. And here you can see we can define the netmask. Netmask starting with the 1 to 32. Okay, I told you the bit, the size of the IP that maximum is 1 to 32. Okay. So here, if we provide 29, how much IP we got for the VPC 8? Similar way we can type. If we provide 32, only one IP we will get. If we provide 1, you can see how much IP we got. So as per the requirement, actually, we need to define the IP ranges. For example, we need to create a large network. Okay. So the large network has we need a lot of IPs. So as per the requirement, we can define the network as well. If we need a small network, then we can go with the small numbers like 24 is fine. So only 250 IPs we got. Got it. So in this case, I provided 16, so I will get 65,000 something IP. Then this we can go with the default IPv6. We didn't do anything in the IPv6. Then create VPC. Now we successfully create the VPC part only. I mean a VPC with the name and IP. VPC with the name and IP. No subnet or anything inside the VPC. Okay, fully blank. Now we need to configure the rest of things. See, the VPC is done. It's not a fully functional VPC, okay? Just to create a VPC only. The next thing is we need to create subnet. Subnet is, I told you, it's a IP ranges. So we can isolate separate environment within VPC. Okay, that means it's a different networks actually. Inside a VPC, we can create another network. Got it. Using subnet. And we can allocate some IP for the subnet as well from the VPC. VPC have 65,000 something IPs there. So coming to subnet, we can define how much IP we need and we can allocate that IP. And finally, we will deploy our machine inside the subnet. That's the part actually we need to in real world. This is the way we need to, launching machines and assigning the network means VPC and subnet whenever we're creating or launching machines, okay? Or any other resources that need a network. So here we can see these are the subnet, existing subnets. So I'm going to create a subnet from scratch. So whenever we're creating subnet, we need to define the VPC, okay? Because this is belongs to the VPC. So here we can see a lot of VPCs there. So we need to select correspondingly our VPC. And whenever creating subnet, we need to define the subnet name as well. And IP2, okay, for the subnet. IP means IP that within the range that we define for the VPC, okay. So there is no other IP we can define. Only we need to define the VPC range. So the subnet name we can provide public subnet, any name we can provide. But the best practice is uh, mostly we using subnet for publicly accessible or private accessible. So we can define that accessibility within the subnet. So we can identify easy, okay. If we have a lot, just assume like we have a lot of subnet in organizational perspective, we can easily identify if we define the public or private. And we need to define the availability zone as well, okay, whenever we creating subnet. So here we can see when top down, these are the availability zones because I'm region in US North Virginia. So under the North Virginia region, they offer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 availability zones. So we can select one of the availability zone. Then we need to define the IP 10.0.0. This is IP address for the not this is IP address for the VPC. Okay, this is the IP that we assigning for subnet 0.0. In this case, I am using netmask, not 16. If I assign the 16, that means the total IP the VPC have assigned to the single subnet. We can't assign. We can create any other subnet within the VPC. Okay. So only 24, that's fine. Because only if I provide 24, see 250 IP for the single subnet. That's fine. Create. So the subnet is created. See. So VPC created, subnet created. Okay. VPC, IP there. And here we created a subnet and we name it as public subnet Guru School. Okay. And we provide a IP address 0.0.0.0/24. Here the IP for the VPC is 10.0.0.0/60. So anyone can say if I'm going to create another subnet within the same VPC, which IP address that we can give by default or logically? Anyone?
10.0.0.1.
That IP address belongs to this network actually. 0.0. You mean 10.0.0.1, right? For the
Yes.
next subnet 2. This is not logically we can't assign this IP to the second subnet because same IP address we already assigned to the first subnet.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
So
Then
for
two also doesn't work. Okay.
2, right? No. If we provide 2, that is same network actually. Actually, here the net mask for the VPC is 10.0.0.0. And I told you like when we providing the netmark 16, this is a part actually changing. Okay, this is a host part and this is a network actually.
Then it should be 10.0.1.0.
That's right. Okay, 10.0.1.0. This is another network. So we can define another network to another subnet. That's a requirement. Okay. Now the requirement that's a logically how we will divide the different subnet with a different IP address or with different network. In this case, this is another network. And one more thing, we name this subnet as public. Is the subnet is public? No. Whenever we creating a subnet by default, subnet or VPC by default it's private actually. So we need to configure and make it as a public. Public means internet accessible subnet. That means if we install any machine within the subnet with the public IP, anyone can access that machine externally outside the VPC or via internet. If we create a private VPC and deploy some machines within the private VPC, no one can access that VPC outside the that machine outside the VPC. Got it?
You mean to say
That
we need to allow the traffic?
Yep. That means that specific subnets does not have internet access. So here you can see this is a VPC we created. Okay. Currently the
Explain that
VPC.
point again. Why doesn't have the internet access? That subnet.
Yeah. Currently we created VPC, right? And currently the VPC does not have a network. I mean internet connection as of now. We didn't configure that. Also, we created a subnet and name it as public VPC, but still it's private. We need to configure it. So first we need to provide a network for the VPC. So we can leverage one service, Internet Gateway. So what is Internet Gateway? It's a service offered by VPC purely for internet connection. Two-way connection that Internet Gateway have. One is inbound and outbound. Outbound. That means it's purely for internet. So we need to go and create an internet gateway. Whenever we creating internet gateway, we need to attach the internet gateway with our VPC. So here you can see left side internet gateway and go to create the internet gateway. name GS Internet, create Internet Gateway. That fine, we didn't go to add any tag. So see, VPC enable communicate with Internet Gateway. Here we need to attach to VPC. Now we are going to attach to corresponding VPC. So in this case, we need the rest of the VPC in my AWS account have internet access. Okay, otherwise it will just here. Only the newly created internet VPC does not have the internet connection. So we need to select that and attach to internet gateway. So the internet. So in this case, our VPC have internet connection. Got it. The VPC only attach the internet gateway. So that the VPC have internet connection, but no, coming to subnet, there is no internet connection. Still, there is no internet connection. For that, we need to create root table. Root table is another service. Okay. And after create root table, we need to associate this root table with the corresponding subnet. For example, we need to make public this subnet. Okay, this one. So for that, first we need to create a root table. Then we need to associate that root table with this subnet. Then we will adding the root. So that root makes the subnet public. So go to the internet gateway, it's fine. Now we are going to create a root table and create root table. We can name it as public. Okay, so we can easily identify public root table or private root table, because whenever we're creating a subnet, we will create a root table for the same most cases, or else we can adding similar subnets within a single root table as well as per the requirement. So I'm creating a root table. Now, whenever we're creating root table, we need to define the VPC as well. So selecting the corresponding VPC, that's fine. So root table is created. So the next thing is, I told you we need to associate with the subnet. So why we associate? Because what are the things that we define in the root table that is automatically affecting our subnet actually. Okay. So this is a root table dashboard. So here we can see subnet association, edit subnet association, and here you can see the subnet we created. Because inside this VPC only one subnet there, okay? Because this root table belongs to the same VPC that we created now. If we created another subnet, it will list here. In this case, only one subnet. And we need to save association. That's fine. Still now our subnet is private because we didn't add any root. So for adding or for giving internal connection to a subnet, these are the steps that we need to do. One more thing we need to do, the final step. This final step confirm the internet connection. Okay. So first go to the root table that we created and go to the roots and edit roots. And here you can see the destination and target status. So the destination this is a default route. Okay. The destination means VPC address or the VPC IP, and the target is local. That means that machine have an internal accessibility or internal connection. Okay. So now we are going to add one route that is for making that subnet is public. So the destination is internet. 000/0 is the IP for internet. Okay. Then so target is internet gateway. Select the internet gateway. So it will listing our internet gateway. See, Guruschools internet. Save changes. Now our subnet is public. See, we created root table and we associate the root table with our corresponding subnet. Finally, we add a root, that root pointing the destination is internet 0000/0. This is the IP address that we define for the internet. Okay. And that connection goes to internet gateway. Our target. That means this is now public. So if any mission we deployed here, we can accessible outside. over internet. Okay. So anyone have any doubt? So in this section, we created a fully functional VPC and created a VPC, a one subnet and routable internet gateway, routable association associated, and we make that subnet public. Any doubt? All of you? All
I'm
good,
good.
right?
I'm good.
Okay, okay. Then coming section, we can continue from here. Okay, we need to deploy some machines and how we will accessing remotely. Okay, and we can deploy some sample application as well to our machine. So if you have any doubt, otherwise we can wind up today's section, right? All of you.
So with this VPC IP address, we can only create two subnets because right now you have given 256 bytes for this subnet, and
Mm.
we other one will be going with 10.0.1.0. So if we take the 24-bit, then it's gonna be like 256 for this one too. Then can we create one more subnet?
Yeah, no issue. We can create a lot of subnet within the VPC
Okay.
because
So
only
next,
we take 256 IP for the single subnet because we use 24 net mask 24 when creating the subnet. So 65,536 minus 256. The rest of them we can create another subnet.
no, like next subnet, what is the IP for the next subnet after this 10.0.1.0?
10.0.1.0. Next type, next
Next one
subnet.
after this,
We
after
create
this.
another one 10.0.2.0.
Okay, okay, now I got
So
it.
the last one in this series is
255.
255.0.
Okay, 0. Okay, now I got it. Thank you.
Hi, Topik. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So you just like you started with 10, but normally each company they should have their own, like it's already given, right? Like their network, maybe they will start with, I don't know, 101 or
That's all as per the requirement. I told you, like for before starting a company, we need to define how much large our network like that. For example, we can take example like TCS. TCS have how many employees are there? Around 5-6 lakhs employees there, right? So that much laptops the companies provided to those employees, right? Around 5 lakh or 6 lakh. So they need to assign private IP for each of the machine, right? So that much IP we need to define. So it's a large network. So they will use corresponding IP, private IP ranges. Most probably they will using 10 dot series. In my company, also 30,000 employees are there. So they're using 10 dot series IP, private IP.
no, what I'm asking is, so it will be given, like it will be told us, like,
Yes,
hey,
yes. There is a
we'll
network.
already,
Yeah,
yeah,
network architect there actually, the team of
okay,
networking. So they will assign
okay,
actually. Coming to
okay.
us, they will assign the IP address and everything from the architect level. So we just define or we providing that same IP when creating these stuff.
Okay.
So I have a quick question too. Like we have created like manually this stuff. Are we gonna create the same stuff using like automating it?
Yes, the same thing we will automate when we starting the Terraform.
Okay.
This is manual intervention, but it's a complex time-taking process. But when coming to automation, we need to define everything in the infrastructure as code. Then using a simple command, we will deploy the entire fully functional VPC within a couple of minutes, okay? 2 to 3 minutes it taken actually. Otherwise, we need to go manually and create each things, then defining. providing data like that. So coming to production environment, we need to automate all the configurations using automation tool like Terraform or any other tool. Fine, right? All of you.
Yeah. Tawfiq, you said you're gonna show us like how to create the account for the Amazon.
Yep. Yeah, sorry, I will show you. So as of now, you don't have a AWS account, right?
No.
Okay, to creating AWS account, go to the browser and type AWS free trial. And type free tier. No need to type, but if you type, then we can directly jump into the portal. Okay. So here you can see free cloud services, AWS free tier. Click on that. See, create a free account. Before that, I will put that link in chat. Okay, just to copy all of you to create AWS free tier. Then create a free account. Click here. Then we need to define that uh, the root user email. You need to define your Gmail account here and your name, then verify with the Gmail. Then one more page there that is to provide that necessary details. Then one page for the payment as well. So we need to provide the card details, okay, the debit card details. Debit card is fine, okay. No need to provide credit card details. So it will take for Indian, I think they will take 2 rupees and they will give back, okay, after the authentication. That's fine. Then we can start our AWS services. And they not taking money, okay, if monthly billing actually. If, for example, if we have our usage is 10 rupees or 100 rupees per month, they won't charge actually manually. Sorry, automatically. They will inform us via mail. So at that time, we can pay with the UPI or debit card as well. And if we didn't pay, they will suspend our account after few weeks. First restrict the account. Okay, so we can't use all the services. Then after they will suspend after few weeks. So that's the process.
But I think there is like a 1 year, some kind of there is
Yes,
a
yes,
one
yes.
year.
Free tier is comes under 1 year, so we can leverage that free tier eligibility resources. For example, we can run a EC2 server 750 hours monthly. After 750 hours, they will charge. That is free tier eligibility machines only, okay? Base machines.
Hmm.
Got it. So I put it, I paste the URL in the chat. So you can copy and create the account.
I had long time ago, like 3 years ago, I opened an account, but I guess I have to open with a new email address, I guess.
Also new card
Yes.
too. It won't
Yes,
take
yes,
the
yes.
same card actually.
Oh,
Yes.
shit. Okay. I have
Maybe
to
your
remember.
account became dormant. You just have to, can you reactivate a dormant account?
No, then we have to pay, I guess, because that's the reason you have to have new accounts to get the free 1 year.
Oh.
If it's an old account, then no more free. Every minute you have to pay. Now I have to remember which card I put last. I have,
Then we can wind up, right? Today's section, all of you, all clear, right?
Sure. Thank you,
So
sir. Have
tomorrow,
a good evening. Good
yeah,
night,
tomorrow we
everyone.
can continue the process, okay, from the VPC. As of now, we created the fully functional VPC. Then we will check the fully functional VPC is good or bad. Okay, using deploying a machine within the subnet.
Tawfiq, like you are recording this session, are you going to provide these
Yes,
recordings?
yes.
Okay. Are you going
So
to
we
send
can,
it in?
yeah, I will share in that group actually. First, I need to
Okay.
send to the concerned person. They will upload the video to YouTube. Then only they will share with us.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Bye.
So
Take care.
yeah, then we can wind up, right? All of you.
Sure. Thank you. Bye,
Okay.
everybody. Good day.
Good
Good
night.
week.
Good night, all.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.